Hey everybody, Joe here for the private show tonight. Try to do these every Sunday for people, my core people, and then I do other shows now. I record them and then I just release them as a premiere. I was just telling everybody, just for so everyone knows, when you see those premieres, I do that so that you get the notification because otherwise YouTube apparently doesn't send them. So, without further ado, let's see what happened in California today. This just happened a little while ago in California from Nick Sorter. Another angle of the U-Haul truck plowing through the anti-Islamic regime protesters in Los Angeles. Please pray hard for these victims. This is insane. This is because we keep importing the third world. I'm just saying we keep importing the people that hate us. Why would you plow through a crowd of you know, Islamic State protesters? That makes no sense. So we'll find out who did that, but well, it's California. We might not. I'll let it play again because all right, so there you go. Just absolutely insane. Let me see if he's got any more footage of that. This was not part of my script today. I just saw it. Um, Here we go. There's more footage here. Let's take a look at this. They rushed the U-Haul truck, he says, driven by an Islamist. There you go. The cops are protecting the guy in the truck. Does that surprise you? Not me. Look at his windshield. Well, I don't know. He's an Islamist. Is he like a white one? He kind of looks. He does not look Arab to me. I don't know about you guys. Let me know what you think. Oh, you know what else I have to do, guys? I didn't even think of this. I didn't set up chat. I have to set up chat. What the hell? All right, let's get that set up really quick. Well, maybe. Why is this not? It's always a nightmare, man. I am so sick. I wish there was other options for other than OBS and this. Like they both screw up all the time. And there we go. Let's see. No, custom code. Nope. All right, let me redo this. Give me 1 sec, guys. I got to get this chat box set up so if you guys say stuff, I can see it a little bit better sometimes without having to like take up my whole screen with this screen. Give me 1 sec. But yeah, so that does not look like an Islamist to me at all. I'm trying to get it. I'm thinking, where was his face better? He just looks like a regular. I don't know. Maybe he got mad that there was people blocking the street and he's trying to move out. I don't know. He says he's an Islamist, though. I don't know, man. I can't tell. I mean, he's just wearing a T-shirt. It looks like a shirt, some kind of just regular shirt. I don't know, man. That's your guys' call. He says, "Let the people have him. Real justice will be served." Here's more video of it here before I get chat set up. There's not any sound on this one. Yeah, he just looks like a dude. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think the cops are trying to get him. All right, that might replay for a sec while I set up chat, guys. That's what I got to hit. There we go. There we go. And let me get the oh, it won't let me copy the stream link. Why is it not letting me copy the stream link? Oh my goodness, why is everything so stupid? Oh, there we go. I can just do this. And then Yeah, I'll just do that for now. For the today's show, I'm just going to do this because everything, hey Rob, everything is a nightmare when it comes to these stupid desktop apps, and I don't think that the other versions are much better, if I'm being honest. So this is them trying to rip the guy out of the car. I don't know what what the actual story is. I'm just getting it on X. He says he's an Islamist or whatever. Let me move this cord. He says he's an Islamist or whatever, but like I said, he doesn't look like an Islamist to me. But I don't know what one looks like. I guess they could look like anybody. I think that's more of a, just a guess on his hat. Perhaps a guess on his part. So there we go. And then that's chat, and we'll shrink that down. Sorry about this, guys. I didn't even think about that part being all screwed up too. And we'll just go ahead and where'd it go? There we go. There we go. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, and I think that's probably about it as far as the video. There's other shots here. You can see he plows through. His window's definitely cracked, but is it cracked because he's hitting people, or is it because he's not going? I mean, trust me, a vehicle like that, even slightly hitting you would hurt. There's more video of it. Yeah. I don't see like, they're flooding it. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't see like people on the ground, but it's hard to tell because they flooded it. I guess that's it. That's all he's got from that. I don't know, man. That's pretty crazy though. So that happened in California. Um, I guess I hope everybody's okay. That's crazy that somebody would drive. In a way, I kind of get it. Like, I get that people get frustrated with protesters when you live in a city that literally has a protest probably, once a day over something that the left is outraged about at this point. But there you have it. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm trimming down the chat a little bit so that it's a little easier to bear with here. There we go. And I'm done. It's telling me to sign into chat still on my one thing because why not? I guess. Was the audio good on that? Because I also was gonna say I didn't turn off what do you call it? The stupid filters. I don't know if those are off because having to get back into Streamlabs tonight was a real nightmare. I was working on that for probably a half hour. It was not letting me back in. There we go. All right. So we'll take that off there really quick. We're all set up. I'll fix chat another day, but we've got it, and that's all that matters. So let me get this up and running and welcome everyone. I just wanted to give you that news about what happened in California today. So I want to start by covering the insurrectionist who was shot by ICE this past week. And finally, after this, stop talking about the case until there's like any kind of new developments. Now, trust me, people are saying, oh, he's going to be charged. He's not going to be charged. He didn't do anything wrong. Keep in mind, headlines, headlines are like just absolutely out of control with this kind of stuff. They painted the guy as like a bad person and so on. And he's not a bad dude. Tom Homan said he's kind of hiding with his family after being doxxed. But this is why they're doing these headlines. They don't want you to see this kind of stuff. I just cropped this. Why is it acting stupid? Like, I literally just cropped this so that everything was right, and it's doing this again, guys. Like, I'm so done with Streamlabs. And now there we go. Okay, I might switch back to OBS temporarily just to see what the hell is going on. Is it just too big? Like, I don't understand. There we go. All right, there we go. You'd think I've never done a stream before. That's what ticks me off about this. That's how crappy these things are. So, Minnesota fraud boss forced to hand over Porsche and luxury assets. Amy Bach, the 44-year-old Democrat brains behind Feeding Our Future, just got slapped with federal judge's order to cough up her fancies. 2013 Porsche Panamera diamond bling, Louis Vuitton bags, a pile of laptops and iPads, plus 3.7 million from her bank accounts, totaling a whopping 5.2 million in forfeitures. So there's the Democrat who set this all up. And yeah, she went down. Now you've got the left saying, oh, they just want to hyper focus on, you know, on the Somalis, but this is the ringleader and so on. Whether she's the ringleader or not, a lot of Somalis were drug into it, and we'll get a little bit more into that in a bit. Because yeah, it's not just there. So new footage came out, and it shows more of what happened beforehand. It shows that this idiot was indeed illegally impeding ICE agents while celebrating about what she was doing. You may have seen some of the clips from this, but I doubt you've seen the whole thing. I intend to play the whole thing for everyone here because you need to see this. Let's take a look. That is her honking, by the way, just so everyone's aware. That is her honking, just so everyone knows. She's impeding the ICE officers, honking, dancing around. Now, it's funny because they played this on CNN, and the man that was, dumbass is right, Rob, the man that was reporting on it, that's just loosely saying reporting, he was like, we see somebody jump out of the side of the car for some reason. The somebody that jumps out of the car, as we knew before this video came out, so this guy was just being an idiot, was the lesbian wife who looks like a man that was jumping out of the car to film so that they could post it to the internet. And later on, she admits that she got her wife killed. I'm actually going to search for that video because I don't think I've shown that on this show yet. And I think if I did, maybe I had my filters on for background noise here and it messes with the video itself. So... See, she's not even in her car. She's out in the street being a bitch. And you can see how the car, you could tell, was burgundy before, and now it doesn't look burgundy. That's between the camera and the sunlight and so on and so forth. There was actually an account on X that shared another video where the car didn't look burgundy because of that. You know, cameras changing. Cameras mess with things, you know, especially cell phone cameras. And they were like, the government shared an AI video. It's not even the same car. It's like, you don't know how life works, obviously. Now that they're coming at her, she jumps back into the car. Now, I need you to understand. I need anybody that watches this, even after it's released as a normal video, to understand what we just saw. You see she's parked there? Let's go back a minute. There was people getting around her on one side. These are just, I do believe, normal-ass people that were driving around the back of her like, dude, I got to get going. What are you doing? Right? But ICE knows what she's doing because they've been running into her all day, according to what they're saying. And we had another report where where the lady said that she was definitely leading some kind of group. So who knows who any of those were in this situation. That's clearly ICE. And that's right there is the video I showed you before. Oh, well, lots of people have shown it. I'm not like the only person that's shown it, but you know what I'm saying, where this is lesbian girlfriend who was out filming, or wife or whatever. This is just after she said, I'm not mad at you. And everybody used that as an excuse as to why, oh, she just it wasn't a big deal. You can clearly see what she's doing. Here he is filming the license plate. This is when, old Lesbo here says, oh, we don't change our plates every day, which was a bizarre statement. And then here we go. She's blocking. She's trying to block. She's still moving. See how she's trying to block? Now she's like, oh, that's an ICE guy. I shouldn't. She stopped waving him through after she pulled forward. And then they turned off the camera, but you can see where she hits him after that in that other video. So excuses being made for these people. Let me see if I can find... Let's see if that hits on anything. Nobody, the majority of people are not on her side, by the way. The left is just, as usual, the loudest. I'm going to see if I can find that video. I had it bookmarked, but I tend to unclick bookmarks. I should probably not do that with certain ones. Yeah, I don't think we're going to find it. That's about right. But anyway, I played the video before. It was where there was like a black gentleman filming. The wife walks up. He's like, you got any family around here? She says, no, we just moved here. Now, that's interesting to me because what we do know is that the claim initially was that they had lived there 7 months to a year. But she had said they just moved there. Did she mean 7 months to a year ago? Because that's not just. And why didn't you have plates yet? You know what I'm saying? So it's all, I don't know, man. It was turned into a psyop is what I think. But she worked with the left-wing insurrectionist groups, illegally obstructed ICE, hit an agent, got shot, end of story. And yet the insurrectionists carry on her work each day out there and elsewhere. You can see that clearly here. This is what we saw today. I thought this was pretty sweet. Let me bring that back up. So this is Officer Lou. He says, happening now, South Minneapolis. ICE smashes activist window, drags him out and detains him while radical protests swarm federal agents. Hero standing strong. Here we go.
Got everything? This car right here, left road. Car? This car right here, left road. There's a lot of glass everywhere. Just park it, and we're out.
Got him. Now, a lot of people see these groups that train these people to do these things. We've known they've been around. I mean, it's not a big secret, but so what they don't tend to tell these people is this. I'll bring it up and I'll show you. I don't think they're telling people the whole story, and they're putting people in danger, really. So take a look at this. This is federal law. on what ICE's limits are and so on. Let's get this a little bigger for you all so you can see it, hopefully. I know some of you watch it on TV and others your phones. The primary federal law that allows ICE, U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement officers to arrest American citizens for impeding, assaulting, obstructing, or otherwise interfering with ICE officers and their operations is 18 U.S.C. 111. The statute titled Assaulting, Resisting, or Impeding Certain Officers or Employees makes it a crime for anyone, including a U.S. citizen, to forcibly assault, resist, oppose, impede, intimidate, or interfere with federal officers or employees, including ICE agents, while they are engaged in or on account of the performance of their official duties. ICE officers qualify as federal officers under the law, cross-referenced with 18 U.S.C. 1114, which covers officers and employees of the United States in executive branches, including those in DHS ICE. So that is what exactly gives these officers the right to arrest American citizens. Now, if you asked any leftists, they don't have the right to arrest American citizens. They're not even real cops. They are real cops. They're federal officers. They're just a special branch of federal officers that deal in, operations regarding immigration, period. So that was important to know. If you need to, you can rewind the show and screenshot that or whatever, and you can share that with whoever needs to see it. Some people need to see it, I think, from what I understand. So here's some fun stuff. White liberals decided that they were going to start a Say Her Name campaign for the woman that was insurrecting and got shot. So they decided they would do that, and it turns out that was a bad idea because they poked the victim class bear, and now black folks are very upset. While we're here, it's Say Her Name for black women who are victims to police brutality. I think they meant to say of police brutality, but this is probably a white person, if I'm being honest. And no, we aren't looking to co-opt nothing. And then we've got this one. I mean, I could have went all day with these. They're just so triggered and upset that white liberals have hijacked this for a white lesbian. No, Say Her Name is for black women, girls only. It holds history. And then we've got another one. I'll just do a few more here. I was reading these and kind of smoking a little and laughing. I'm like, my goodness, these people. All right. And there's another one here. We're sorry to that lady murdered by ICE. They don't know how to talk in Minneapolis, but Say Her Name is strictly for black women. And then Thanos is right. Said that's so damn funny. Oh, goodness. I think other people were doing what I was doing. All right, let's take a look. We got another one. This is why nobody likes y'all. Her name is for black women. Say Her Name is for black women who are victims of state-sanctioned violence. Most of them are working class. Shut the fuck up, dog. Oh, state-sanctioned violence. And then we've got this one. Kind of funny. At least I find these funny. You guys probably don't. I'm dying. Yeah. Say Her Name is specifically for black women and femmes. You know this. Do better. And then we've got two more guys. That's it. I just wanted to they always end up eating themselves alive in one way or another. Y'all better stop because we are not rewriting history. This is in all caps, of course. Say Her Name is for black women. So like literally, lesbian activist, insurrectionist dies helping beep the horn and blow her rape whistle for non-whites who are getting deported from this country for breaking our laws, and they still won't let her hijack Say Her Name. Say Her Name is literally for black women, though. I can't even, guys. Like, these people crack me up. Like, you can't make this shit up. Like, this is how they are. It's just, there's no. And now, see, they'll go to X and they'll point to these paid influencers which I'm going to do another show on this because I found a really interesting show of, it was about, oh, influencers who kind of faded away and what kind of happened to them afterwards or where they're at today. And the dude doesn't realize it, but he's literally describing what I've been talking about all along, for a couple of them. And I'm thinking I might play those two and just be like, see, and this happens on our side too, y'all. But yeah, so after all this went down, we've had two basketball coaches come out. First, we had this, I don't know, Doc Rivers guy. He's from Wisconsin, the Milwaukee Bucks. See, I don't watch sports, but whatever. And there we have it. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
What happened in Minnesota is
I can assure you he's not going to say her name or say her name.
What happened in Minnesota was a straight up murder, in my opinion. And it's awful. This lady was probably trying to go home and she didn't make it home, and that's really sad. So the whole ICE thing it's a travesty. It's clearly, to me, we're attacking brown people, and I just happen to be brown. And I don't think it should just be brown people who are upset at this. I think we all have to be. I don't care what side of this thing you are on politically. What's going on in our country right now is absolutely wrong as far as the race stuff. The politics, I'm not going to get into. The race stuff, I will, and it's just wrong, and we have to do something. But the only thing we can do right now is keep speaking up, because it doesn't seem like they care. And that's troublesome. Last thing I'm going to say, because I don't want to stay on this, but I could. I keep thinking about kids. And when I grew up,
bro, you what? You what? Typical Democrat.
It was always the role model. And I think about that and the effect of being a bully, lying. How is that good for our kids? And that worries me for our future.
So there's that. And then we had Steve Kerr of the Golden State Warriors come out, and he had something to say about it as well. Let's take a look at that. And we'll just bloop.
Well, I'm glad that the Timberwolves recognized her life and the tragic nature of her death, and it's shameful, really, that in our country we can have law enforcement officers who commit murder and seemingly get away with it. It's shameful that the government can come out and lie about what happened when there's video and witnesses who have all come
Isn't
out.
that the most amazing thing about this whole thing? How, like, lefties can go ahead and watch the same videos we've watched and see, like, we've known they live in an entirely different, like, just universe than regular people. They live in this universe where I can't imagine what it looks like in their universe. I picture, like, I don't know, Blade Runner cities, and like there's these weird oppressive, or 1984, like meets Blade Runner, some weird, like everything's all like blurry to them, and it's like, ooh, they feel like they're always running from something. And it's like, in reality, what we have is agents of the government carrying out their daily operations, who would generally do so quietly, except with the, major criminals. And everything would be fine, but these people need to blow into their rape whistles and honk their horns and dance around in the street like a bunch of fucking retards. So that's where we're at. That's where we are right now. You've got these people that literally watch the same thing as you and I, and can clearly see that she hit the guy after looking him dead in the eyes with her vehicle, and say she was trying to drive away. So what you're saying is she broke the law. They said, get out of the car, because she knew that meant that they were going to hold her accountable. And then she was just driving away, and that makes it better? Like, make it make sense. Like,
and disputed what the government is saying. So very demoralizing, devastating to lose, anyone's life, especially in that matter. So it's terribly sad for her family and for her and for that city. And I'm glad the Timberwolves came out and expressed that sadness. Well, I'm glad that the Timberwolves.
Yeah, pretty soon they'll be taking a knee for lesbians. So yeah, that's just interesting. It's why I laugh when I see conservatives getting, getting boners for sports on. Oh, who do you think's going to win in this one and stuff? It's like it's all still woke. What are you doing? These people who run and own the majority of these teams that you support hate you and your president. I mean, I would say that they should boycott, but I mean, we've seen how that plays out with the NFL, Netflix, Budweiser. Most conservatives don't have the testicular fortitude to stick to a boycott. Let's just be honest. Like something happened. And I've said this before. Something happened over the summer with Netflix, and they were all calling for a boycott again. And I'm sitting here like, wait, what are we boycotting? I thought Cuties had us cancel Netflix. I never resubscribed. What are you doing? Oh, that's right. You're hypocrites. You're hypocrites. You didn't think that the pedophilia that was shown in Cuties was big enough deal to just stay boycotting Netflix. And maybe your kid wanted to watch some stupid show on there, right? And then we've got this from Dave Matthews. If some of you don't know who that is, it's not a surprise. This is Dave Matthews and what he has to say. I will explain who he is in a moment.
I don't want my taxes to pay for ICE, to masked thugs to roam our streets and terrorize our communities and rip families apart. We should be taking care of each other. We should be minding each other. We should be housing the homeless. We shouldn't be, throwing people to the ground. Which brings me to Renee Nicole Good, murdered in front of her fellow citizens in Minneapolis, murdered in the streets. And no matter what narrative this administration is trying to sell us, we can see the videos. Maybe if they show you one and they slow it down and they tell you where to look, you might think maybe there's a chance that the gunman felt threatened. But from most angles, near and far, looks like she was trying to get away. And he shot her 3 times.
She was trying to get away from breaking the law. She was trying to escape consequences of her own actions. And in the process, she ran over somebody or hit somebody, and he reacted like he was allowed to do. Yes, the singer, Rob. I don't know if he still sings.
In the head, murdered in cold blood. And this administration, these people who are trying to tell us not to believe what we see, it is so horrific. I don't understand how.
Trying to tell them what we can see. We can see what happened. How do you not see what happened? That's what blows my mind with these people. It's an alternative. They live in just a whole other universe than we do. Everything that happens, they see differently than what reality is. It's like they live with, like I said in the last show, like with glasses. When you take them out, this is how it works for them. They only see things through the lens of Trump bad. Everything that Trump's administration does is going to automatically default to bad. Bad. It's shit. So even something this simple, cut and dry, she hit him with the car, she got capped. It's this whole nother level of, they're trying to tell us that what we see isn't what we see. Then why does well over half the country see it completely different than you people? Isn't that strange to you?
You can claim that she was ramming their cars or that she was attacking them. There's nothing to suggest that.
Nobody claimed she ran their cars just before this. They said she had been following them around, like blocking and stalking them. You just watched a 3-minute video at the beginning of the stream where she sat there blocking them for 3 minutes, honking their horn. They, them's horn, whatever, it's horn. And and she belonged to ICE Watch. And yeah.
And it's mind-boggling, and it's deeply upsetting to me and to so many people, and we can't just let it slide. To Trump, to Christina.
We can't just let it slide. So what are you going to do about it, Dave? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about them defending themselves against your unhinged friends?
To Stephen Miller, to Pete Hegseth, to Patel, to Bondi, to all of them. just deeply, deeply dishonest people. Just cowardly, shameful, dishonest people.
All right, that's enough of him. That's a great pause. That's a great pause. Looks like he's taking a shit. Anyway, he should probably stick to dumping poop on people off bridges. I would say boycott him, but nobody even listens to his music in 2026 anyways. So this is how the hypocrites in the media frame things. Let's take a look at this really quick. I thought this would really illustrate how things work with the media.
There's a cult of martyrdom that has grown up on the right around the insurrectionists who attacked the Capitol on January 6th. Not only is it frightening, but it's also dangerous. There's one figure who this group has elevated and organized around more than any other. Her name, of course, is Ashley Babbitt. She's the 35-year-old woman who was shot and killed by an officer on January 6th. What makes this movement especially dangerous is that we know what can happen when right-wing authoritarian movements celebrate their insurrectionist rioters. We have historical examples, multiple ones, of fascist movements that turned their foot soldiers who were caught trying to overthrow the government and imprisoned into symbols of martyrdom. And this MAGA culture of holding extremists in great esteem.
I'm sorry, I don't necessarily believe the entire Ashley Babbitt narrative, but at the same time, at what point was she imprisoned? I think she was just shot in the face by a Capitol Hill guard who, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, has a family member that he lives with who's in trouble for running a daycare that might be a little bit illegal.
Extends well beyond Ashley Babbitt, the mob. We're seeing it all across the country. Trump administration has decided to harass and abduct and sometimes shoot people who have committed no crimes and pose no threat, like Renee Good. 37-year-old mother of three who had just dropped her child off at school, driving her Honda Pilot with a glove compartment full of stuffed animals. She was neither ramming the officer with her car or trying to ram the officer with her car. How many domestic terrorists have you seen taking their dogs for a drive out on their operations? Renee Nicole Good was killed just blocks from where a police officer murdered George Floyd 5 years ago. And tonight, people are once again taking the streets of Minneapolis in protest.
Yeah, what a difference when it's one of theirs, isn't it? Isn't it interesting how it's always different when it's one of theirs? But yeah, so at the end of the day, we know what she did. Oh boy, Bovino's getting hounded at some store. He could give two shits. Dude, if you guys don't follow Greg Bovino on, there he is. He's right out. Dude, this guy's on it. Like, he's out and he's on it on X, man. Look, see, he's right there. So this, now Border Patrol Commander Greg Bovino hounded by activists and shoppers protesting his presence as he and federal agent Caravan leave a Target in St. Paul, Minnesota for a restroom break. And he says, yes, until Walls and Frey began fanning the flames. And he's replying to the guy that said this. National unity under Trump is going well. But Bovino, he's a boss on there, man. He's cracking me up, some of the stuff he says on there. Anyway, so Beta Mayor Jacob Frey was throwing a fit on the 10th about ICE arresting an illegal and not putting the car in park. I don't know if you guys saw this. Here's the clip he's referring to. I'll get that brought up for you so that we can kind of point and laugh at the reality of what actually happened here in a moment. But this is what he's talking about. This right here is him talking about it.
Just to give you another example of how reckless some of these actions are, maybe 12 blocks from here, 10 blocks from here, over on 3rd Avenue, there was an ICE action that took place. An individual from a car that was in the middle of a pretty significant street was detained. They left the car in the middle of the street. The car wasn't even in park, and so you've got this vehicle that is just rolling down the street with nobody in it. And it wasn't a Waymo. This was a car that was rolling down the street that could have hit anybody.
Hopefully Waymo has pulled their cars out of it. Why is their audio always so trash? Anyway, hopefully Waymo has parked their cars out of the way, because you know these leftists are going to burn them things here in a moment. Greg Bovino replied to the post about Jacob Frey saying this. This is Ed Krasenstein who shared this with the big long, he shouldn't even be on X anymore, but whatever. I guess only I get banned on there. Mayor, he says, Report illegal aliens to ICE and you won't have to worry yourself sick over criminal's car that wasn't put into park by the criminal. Simple solution. So here's the actual video of what went down here. And he's right. I mean, it's just ridiculous sanctuary nonsense. Let's take a look at that really quick, though. Here we go. Looks to me like the ICE agents are helping.
Okay, now, be very careful. Oh, no. Doesn't the keys have that better?
Terrorizing our community!
Our community. Yeah, go home and beat off to your anime porn, dude. You'll be all right. Anyway, so you can see it. Just absolutely insane. And then, you know, when things go south, the only people to blame really are these idiots that you hear screaming like fucking children in the background. But anyway, this is all just to, you know, distract further from the information that's come out on Walz's administration being dirtbags. I played a few of those clips in one of my last videos. You know, they treated whistleblowers like they threatened them and so on. And Ilhan Omar and other Democrats, Democratic tards, went to Whipple Ice Processing Center near Minneapolis, and they were denied entry. So they, of course, brought their paid protesters along, and they would have it no other way. But let's take a look at what happened there. Let's see if they got in. Oops, that's the same one. Damn it. Where did that go? Hang on one second. Let me check my bookmarks. I know I've got it. There we go. Where did she go? I downgraded my after they banned me, I downgraded my X subscription, but I have, when I need them, I have the what do you call it? Folders in my bookmarks area, which will help later on. There we go. I must have deleted it thinking I copied the same thing. Here we go. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes copies don't copy. Here's a little clip of that. This is video of them not getting in. Yeah, so here's some more. And what's funny is she ended up on the back of a car.
Hi, guys. Congresswoman Angie Craig. Hi, guys. Hi. We are exercising our congressional authority. I'm Congresswoman Angie Craig. This is Congresswoman Kelly Morrison. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar.
Can we talk to you guys in there?
Yeah. If we can come past, then we can probably talk.
Now, this guy here that's posting this is the exact... If this is the guy that I think it is, let me see. I need to double check and see if this is the guy who I think it is. No, I don't think it is. I see this guy all over. And this is how he's another one of those black pillars. Do you see? I'm so sick of this. Instead of Ilhan Omar being denaturalized and deported, she's boldly showing up to ICE facilities in Minnesota as agents stand around and do nothing. What is the holdup, Secretary Noem and Tricia Ohio? Why are you allowing this? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, these people are so just pathetic.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of work to denaturalize somebody, for one, and for two, you have to have the proof, and it sounds like they're looking into that. So why don't you chill the hell out? But anyway, here's them not getting
You guys
it.
can move this way so we can have a conversation with them. That would be great.
Great.
Is that okay?
Please step back. The gate is coming down. Further. I don't want anybody to get hurt. Like, move to the side.
Fuck you, man.
Why do you have your pepper spray out? Why do you have your pepper spray out, officer? What's the danger?
She kind of looks like a cow. Her eyes, the way that they look and everything. You know how cows look when they're out in the pasture and there's flies on their face and shit? So yeah, she didn't get in. Now, I'm wondering if I can find... Oh, is the one with her on the truck. Let me see if I can find the one with her on the truck, because if not, that's worth a look, because that was funny. Let's see. Let me see if I can find that, because, oh, she was like, oops. I should probably not be on the back of this truck. Oh, yeah, here it is. Here it is. Oh, I don't, this is far away, though. Here it is. Here's a better shot. Watch. Okay, guys, watch Ilhan. I'm going to make this bigger. You've got to see Ilhan Omar's face when this crazy broad starts ranting about Tim Walz and Jacob Frey not doing enough. These are the two people that allowed her people to carry out fraud, right? Watch what happens.
Walls, grow some balls! Walls, grow some balls! Walls, grow some balls!
Watch her face, guys. Watch her face. They cut away. They're not going to show it. Damn it. There we go. There we go. There we go. Watch her face. Oh, that's not, it's not showing it. I guess they didn't show the whole thing, but we'll watch at the beginning again. Look at her face. She ain't chanting that. Yeah, so.
Taken by ICE just the other day. Somebody say shame!
Smart positioning, though, if you think about it, because if the truck does hit something and they roll out the back, at least Ilhan's safe. She's got padding to land on. But anyway.
Hey, somebody say shame! Shame! And we are out here for Eustaquio. We are out here for every single person who has lost their life, who has lost their livelihood. Aquí estamos! Aquí estamos! Y no lucha duro! Tumbaremos ese pinche muro! Tumbaremos ese pinche muro! Tumbaremos ese pinche muro!
That's all these people do is scream. Anyway, you could see it. You could see she did not like what was being said about old Timmy Walz there. There's another video on YouTube that plays it, but I don't want to have to go looking for that, man. I already was looking for this one and found it or whatever, but still. So, yeah, there you have it. You know, just keep in mind, all this is going on while nothing has changed with actual ICE deportations or anything there in Minneapolis or the rest of Minnesota. There's actually been a surge of ICE in Minneapolis, and this just happened. This had the left all worked up. This was funny. So this is from Kim Katie USA. She says, ICE just detained an entire family uptown Minneapolis. One lone patriot stands his ground against the screaming mob out front. Let's take a look at this. That's as loud as it is, by the way. That's not my audio.
Sir, settle down.
Anybody in the car, did you take a picture of your license plate? What's your name? Can we call anyone for you?
Over here, man.
Are you okay? What's your name?
Back up, please. Back up.
You're not being helpful. Get out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here. We do not need you. Don't sign anything. Do not sign anything. Don't sign anything. You have the right to
And it's a dude with his rape whistle. Don't worry, dude. You're safe.
Back up.
What the fuck are you doing here? Go get a real job. Get out of my city. You are not doing anything.
Go get a real job, scream the paid protesters.
You know what you are. Get out.
Somebody said something about he's a fucking drug dealer. Did you hear that? So did they just arrest a drug dealer? Like, that would be so funny. Oh, the drug dealer and his family are going to be kept together, though. Don't worry, no family separation. So this is who they're arresting there. This is from Bill Mulligan, who is, if you don't know, the congressional correspondent for Fox News in D.C., blah, blah, blah. He was given this list. So here he goes. ICE has provided Fox News a list of the most egregious criminal aliens they've arrested during their surge in the sanctuary state of Minnesota. And let's go. Here's the photo of them all right here. So there you have it. That's the photo of them all. Let's take a look at who they are. Look, you can see that name right there. Okay. He was a Laotian illegal alien convicted of strong arm robbery of a boy and strong arm sodomy of a girl with 2 deportation orders since 2018. Very nice, Tim Walls. Very nice, Jacob Frey. Tu Vang, a Laotian, good thing Biden's not president. These people would all have pardons. A Laotian illegal alien convicted of sexual assault and sodomy of a girl under age 13 and procuring a child for prostitution with a deportation order since 2006. Chong View, a Laotian, what is it with Laotia, man? Or is it Lao? Anyway, who gives a shit? It's a shithole. Illegal alien convicted of the strong arm rape of a 12-year-old girl and kidnapping of a child with intent to sexually assault her. Deportation order since 2004. Ji Yang, Laotian illegal alien convicted of strong arm rape, aggravated assault with a weapon, and strangulation with a deportation order since 2012. Pao Chao Xiong as the Laotian illegal alien convicted of rape and child fondling, deportation order since 2003. Ku Kao Lor, a Laotian, they're just looking for those particular people. Alien convicted of rape with a weapon and sexual assault, deportation order since 1996. Okay. Hernan Cortez Valencia, a Mexican, finally, illegal alien convicted of sexual assault of a child and DUI with deportation order since 2016. I'm not going to even try to say that first name. Elmi, a Somalian illegal alien convicted of homicide. Gibraltar Salguero, land sucker, something. Salvadorian illegal alien convicted of 3 counts of homicide with a deportation order since June 2025. These are the people Democrats are blowing their rape whistles for, by the way, everyone, just so you know, because that makes sense. Gabriel Gama, a Mexican illegal convicted of homicide who has been previously deported in 2002. This guy here, Michael Galauk, anyway, a Sudanese illegal alien convicted of homicide. This guy, Ty Lor, Laotian, convicted of 2 counts of homicide with a deportation order since 2009. Mariana Sai Kanu, an illegal alien from Sierra Leone, convicted of 2 counts of homicide with a deportation order since 22. Aldrin Guerrero Munoz, a Mexican illegal alien convicted of homicide with a deportation order since 2015. Abdirashid Mohammed Ahmed, a Somalian illegal convicted of manslaughter with deportation since 2022. Mongong Dual Meng Yang Dang. Wow, I did it. A Sudanese illegal. What the fuck? That's a whole sentence that he has for a name. A Sudanese illegal alien convicted of attempted to commit homicide, weapon possession, and DUI. Aler Gomez Lucas, Guatemalan illegal alien convicted of negligent homicide with a vehicle and DUI, 2022 deportation order. And Shui Hitu, a Burmese illegal alien convicted of negligent homicide. So there you have it. That's who they're getting out of there. And, you know, let's be real, they're taking other people with them too, because, you know, nobody is working with them. I'm killing you with the names. Try being me. I'm trying to read these damn things. Like, who the hell names their kids this shit? Like, bro, you only need one name and then another name. You don't need 4 names for one person. That's retarded. Anyway, so as you've heard by now, the very next day after the insurrectionist lesbian was shot, Portland ICE, I think it was actually Border Patrol, Portland Border Patrol agents had shot somebody else. The left did not pick that shit up. They did not run with that story very much, except in Portland, where they, protested a little. Well, here is the head police officer there, Chief Bob Day, or Bobby Day. This is him making the announcement about the shooting. Take a look at this.
And what I can say is there is an association with the two folks yesterday and TDA. I hesitated to even share this information initially because I'm very aware of the historic injustice of victim blaming, oftentimes portrayed by law enforcement, including this very agency that I've represented so proudly for so many years. And historically, we have not been quick to disclose the potential criminal history of others. But I felt it was imperative because I was asked yesterday in the news conference what information we have. This is information we have. This in no way draws a through line to the actions or the behaviors that occurred yesterday. I want to speak for just a moment specifically to my Latino community.
Watch this shit.
It saddens me that we even have to qualify these remarks, because I understand, or at least have attempted to understand through your voices, your concern, your fear, your anger. This information in no way is meant to disparage or to condone or support or agree with any of the actions that occurred yesterday. But it is important that we stay committed to the rule of law, that we stay committed to the facts, that we stay a trustworthy and legitimate...
Yeah, I don't know if he asked his boyfriend whether he should go on the news and do that or not, but he did do it, so that is what it is. Now, this is all happening as a TDA member was arrested in Colorado. I think it was Colorado Springs, Colorado. Here you have it. This is a Trende Aragua gang member arrested for kidnapping, torturing, and killing a man in Colorado Springs before shoving him in a suitcase and burying him in the desert. TDA tried murdering BP agents in Portland a day ago, which we were just watching an officer of the law cry about. And here we go. Democrats want these deportations to stop, he points out. There you go.
The man arrested in Colorado Springs following a police chase through a neighborhood in the city this week is an alleged member of Venezuelan prison gang Trende Aragua. This is video from law enforcement taking Yorvis Carrascal Campo into custody in the area of Little Overlook Street just off South Union Boulevard on Wednesday. He and 10 other TDA members are accused of killing a man they allegedly tortured before shoving him in a suitcase and burying him in the New Mexico desert. The Venezuelan national is also accused of sex and drug trafficking, several kidnappings, and being in the U.S. illegally. Carrascal Campo faces up to life in prison. The man arrested in Colorado Springs.
Absolutely insane. So as I said in my last video, I'm not the turn the other cheek dude, right? I'm not the don't sink to the level guy. That's not me. Don't sink to their level guy. Like, I will 100% sink to their level. I think not doing so makes us weaker as a country. Here's an example of things they openly say on social media, and then they act surprised when there's a knock at their door. Let's take a look at this guy and see what the left is saying openly on social media that would get, more than likely, I hope this guy gets a knock at his door. Let's take a look. They take DHS and stuff, so hang on, hold on. There we go. It's Fed Albert. Hey.
This is for Kristi Noem. I hope somebody puts one in the center of your forehead. And I'm not talking about a zit, bitch.
All righty. He's a tough guy. Anyway, so this is what the Democrats, who are desperate, they fully know that they are losing a large chunk of their illegal voting base and slave labor. And this is what they have to say and what they're going to do. And this is their plan. So let's take a look at this.
What they want is for us to go quietly into the night, to believe that their dark, violent, dystopian view of this country is an inevitability. And I'm so grateful for everyday citizens that continue to join with Democrats in vigorous condemnation of these actions. And I will continue to demand an independent and thorough investigation, continue to call on Congress in this moment to use appropriations and the power of the purse to rein in ICE. Again, I believe it should be abolished. What they want.
Abolish ICE. There it is, guys. And they want to impeach Kristi Noem as well. I mean, they really think this is them, y'all. Like, this is what they picture themselves as. You see this? Unlike Chinese tanks, ICE would 100% fucking run over that lady. This is like real life. Oh, so yeah. That's, I mean, I don't know what even to say other than all you can do is laugh at this point. Their insanity just knows no bounds. I mean, but the party, good news is the party is in between a rock and a hard place. These Democrat leaders have placed themselves in this area where, like, we want to be sanctuary cities and states. And then there's like, you're picking up our just regular people, regular illegals, right? So they've made it so that their law enforcement can't work with ICE to detain criminal illegals. And then that forces ICE to take to the streets to get them themselves. And in the process, they're non-violent, non-pedo illegals get swept up. And then they cry that they are getting swept up. They wouldn't be if they would just open the books and let ICE see who needs to get picked up, where they're staying at, what prison they're in, and so on. They refuse to do it. So they want to protect pedophiles, rapists, murderers, and thieves. And it just makes no sense because that's all the sanctuary city things like laws do, or whatever you want to call it, even do, is they protect those types of people. And in the meantime, it makes ICE go out where just other illegals are around them because they kind of gather together, and then those people get arrested too. So they've trapped themselves in this vicious cycle of retardation, and it's just fun to watch, y'all. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie about it. And frankly, the fact that they are sending their insurrectionists into the streets to be violent, run over and obstruct agents, just ensures that they lose even more voters in the long run. Only legal ones this time, right? American citizen voters. So, you know, they're getting arrested, they're getting shot when they hit them and doing stupid shit. So good luck with that. You won't have, between Trump cleaning up the voter rolls this year, I suspect before midterms, fighting that in court. That's going through court right now. There's a bunch of states suing for that. And just doing all these things on elections. Good luck, guys. Like, you're sending your voters into the streets, what's left of them, to act stupid and get arrested. So, and then in Philly, I know most of you probably seen this by now. You've got the DEI sheriff making threats to ICE. We'll take a look at that, though, because there was somebody, we'll get there in a sec. Take a look at this, though. You got to see this DEI hire sheriff. This is hilarious.
Good afternoon. I'm Rochelle Bilal, the sheriff for the city and county of Philadelphia. And I say her name, Renee Good.
Oh, you're not supposed to do that. Ooh, she's going to get fired. She's going to get fired.
Renee Good. Renee Good. Renee Good.
This isn't a cult at all.
Renee Good. This should not have happened, but we're here today. Let know that law enforcement professionals, real ones, not the fake made-up ICE, probably Trump's new army to attack citizens of the United States. Did you hear what I said? No law enforcement professional wears a mask. None.
Unless it's 2020, and then they do.
None. Those that come into our communities wearing a mask to commit crime, thank God for our district attorney, Larry Krasner, who say he's going to lock them up. And I'm saying now, we are not going to whisk you away for them to hide your identity, because when you do it there, you're getting arrested there. No whisk away for them to hide you. None of that here. None of that here. Law enforcement professionals do not shoot at moving vehicles.
Really? Pretty sure they do, actually.
Not saying fleeing, because she wasn't fleeing. She was getting out of the way.
Oh, wait, she wasn't fleeing now? I wish these people could come up with a narrative and just kind of stay with it, because, you know, first we heard she was trying to flee. Now she's just trying to get out of the way. But we clearly saw in the video she looked him dead in the eyes and hit him. But whatever.
Law enforcement professionals do not stand in front of moving vehicles invoking an action that is illegal. No, we don't. And so we stand here today with all those who stand against.
I think I'm probably pretty glad she doesn't stand in front of vehicles. That'd do some damage.
The made-up, fake, what you can call ICE, professional law enforcement. I don't call them none of that. I call them made-up, fake, wannabe law enforcement. Because what they do is against not only legal law, but the moral law.
What? The Bible says a nation should enforce their borders. Our laws say we need to enforce our borders, and there's literally legal laws, as she calls them, that exist that make it illegal to cross the border. It's as they like to point out, it is a misdemeanor, but the punishment for said misdemeanor is deportation.
So I'm with the DA, and we will work with them. If any of them want to come in this city and commit a crime, you will not be able to hide. Nobody will whisk you off. You don't want this smoke.
What? You won't be, nobody will whisk you off. What are you talking about?
Because we will bring it to you. And the fake, whatever they call them, because I can't say the name, but the criminal in the White House would not be able to keep you from going to jail.
All right, so that's some threats being made, and then we've got this response to that right here.
Well, first off, Guy, anytime you pit law enforcement officers against law enforcement officers, it makes nobody safe. This is the exact type of political rhetoric that I've been saying ever since I had the opportunity to be the ICE director, that this increased rhetoric is what's causing the issues right now. You can't pit a local law enforcement officer against a federal law enforcement officer. We are out there trying to do a lawful law enforcement mission, and this rhetoric right here is pure example of what we're facing every day. And you know,
the guy in the background, the one that it looked like a weird hat. Yeah.
I'm not one for like big, banter or bluster, but my message to the sheriff is try it. Try arrest my folks. Let's see what happens.
And there you have it. Try to arrest my folks. Exactly. Federal trumps state and local. Sorry to break it to you. It's just absolutely insane. So anyway, let's get on to some real news. Now, I'm sure you all probably, most all of you remember this moment in time.
And we're very powerful. This country is very powerful. Let me tell you, it's far more powerful than people understand. We have weaponry that nobody has any idea what it is, and it is the most powerful weapons in the world that we have. More powerful than anybody, not even close. So nobody's going to do that, but I think that if that's what you're referring to, maybe it's not. But just
all right, so he said we're very powerful. Nobody even knows half of the weapons we have, basically. Now, watch what just came out. This was shared by Carolyn Levitt. She got permission to share this as the press secretary. You can see this right here. Stop what you are doing and read this. Let's go. So this is Mike Netter. He is main proponent for the drive to recall Gavin Newsom, blah, blah, blah. He says, this account from Venezuelan security guard loyal to Nicolas Maduro is absolutely chilling, and it explains a lot about why the tone across Latin America suddenly changed. And you'll notice that it had. All the Latin American states and so our countries want to meet with Trump now. Monroe Doctrine, baby. So let's take a listen to this. Security guard, on the day of the operation, we didn't hear anything coming. We were on guard, but suddenly all of our radar systems shut down without any explanation. The next thing we saw were drones, a lot of drones, flying over our positions. We didn't know how to react. Interviewer, so what happened next? How was the main attack? Security guard, he says, after those drones appeared, some helicopters arrived, but there were very few. I think barely 8 helicopters. From those helicopters, soldiers came down, but a very small number, maybe 20 men. But those men were technologically very advanced. They didn't look like anything we've ever fought against before. Interviewer. And then the battle began. Security guard, yes, but it was a massacre. We were hundreds, but we had no chance. They were shooting with such precision and speed, it seemed like each soldier was firing 300 rounds per minute. We couldn't do anything. I guess that's what happens when you're more focused on being soldiers and not, being transgender. Interviewer, and your own weapons, didn't they help? Security guard, no help at all, because it wasn't just the weapons. At one point, they launched something. I don't know how to describe it. It was like a very intense sound wave. Suddenly, I felt like my head was exploding from the inside. We all started bleeding from the nose. Some were vomiting blood. We fell to the ground, unable to move. Interviewer, and your comrades, did they manage to resist? Security guard, no, not at all. Those 20 men without a single casualty killed hundreds of us. We had no way to compete with their technology, with their weapons. I swear, I've never seen anything like it. We couldn't even stand up after the sonic weapon or whatever it was. Interviewer, so do you think the rest of the region should think twice about confronting the Americans? Security guard, without a doubt. I'm sending a warning to anyone who thinks they can fight the United States. They have no idea what they're capable of. After what I saw, I never want to be on the other side of that again. They are not to be messed with. Interviewer, and now that Trump has said Mexico is on the list, do you think the situation will change in Latin America? Security guard, definitely. Everyone is already talking about this. No one wants to go through what we went through. Now everyone thinks twice. What happened here is going to change a lot of things, not just in Venezuela, but throughout the region. Boom. Nothing can stop what is coming, y'all. I've been telling you. We're not fucking around anymore. We're just not. Europe can cry about Greenland all they want. We're going to get Greenland one way or another. I hope you guys realize that. We need Greenland because it's important to our missiles, like the Golden Dome, missile defense. We need Greenland for more than a handful of strategic purposes. So like I said, after this happened, now these big tough countries like Mexico and Cuba and all the others want to meet with Trump and see what can be worked out. So there's the Monroe Doctrine in full effect, and we're reestablishing ourselves as a superpower finally. Again, after years of just politicians selling us out. So this is some interesting stuff. We're just kind of wrapping up some of the odds and ends that I missed this week or didn't do a show on this week. So here you go. Betrayal. If this reporting is true, it sure sounds like MTG was the source of the leak for Code Pink. And if you recall, this happened earlier this year over here.
Trump is the Hitler of our time.
He went to eat at a local DC place, and this is what happened. Just take a look really quick. I mean, we're not going to watch the whole thing because I can't listen to leftists scream anymore, and we already have.
Trump is the Hitler of our time. Free DC, free Palestine. Trump is the Hitler of our time. Free DC.
All right, so then that went on, and they're saying MTG had something to do with it. Now, would it surprise you to see this? I don't know if everybody forgot about this, but here's MTG right here posing with Code Pink. That's Code Pink. Code Pink, MTG. And then we've got another photo of MTG with Code Pink, smiling and grinning right here. Somewhere else, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, or at the same event for that one. This is somewhere else. Smiling and laughing with Code Pink. And there we have it. Right here. Here's a few more. Look at Code Pink, Code Pink, Code Pink, Code Pink, MTG, and like all of them. So I have maintained, like you guys know all along, that she was a psyop, and it was pretty obvious after about a year and a half of her being in office that was the case to me. And also keep in mind that she's marrying Brian Glenn, just so everyone knows. And who Brian Glenn is he runs Right Side Broadcasting. It's that YouTube page that streams Trump events and has really close access to the president. So I would imagine Brian Glenn is the one who passed that on to MTG more than anybody. So hopefully that ends. Hopefully he loses access. There's plenty of YouTube channels that would love to access the access that they're getting and aren't marrying a traitor. So that's just my opinion. Lastly, Let's head back to Maine because I said we'd get into this, and we're about to get into this. This is what's happening in Maine with the Somali fraud. Take a look at this. You'll find this interesting if you haven't heard about it yet.
Well, when News Nation investigates, the impact can be swift and dramatic. We saw that today as shockwaves reverberated in part from a News Nation exclusive we brought you last night. We told you about how a small community in Maine alleges that money for mass shooting victims instead went to a Somali-linked nonprofit. Well, tonight, less than 24 hours after our report aired, Lewiston City Council member Iman Osman, who is a Somali refugee, is stepping down. He didn't give a reason, but News Nation has learned his nonprofit was one of dozens that received some of that money raised for these shooting victims. Not only that, it turns out Osman has 2 felony gun charges and faked his address. News Nation investigative correspondent Rich McHugh has been digging into this and joins me now. You broke this news last night. How did this unfold today?
It's been wild, Elizabeth, and it's still actually unfolding. There's an emergency city council meeting happening right now in the building behind me. They're trying to figure out what exactly to do. So just to reset, Lewiston had one of the worst mass shootings in our country's history. The country rallied behind, raised a bunch of money, over $6 million. There was the Maine Community Foundation. They promised everybody that all of the monies were going to go to the victims and their families. Well, it turns out that about 30%, $1.9 million, went not to the families and victims, but went to nonprofits. And we found that at least 9 of them were immigrant-focused. At least 7 of them were Somali-linked nonprofits. Now, one of those nonprofits is the Lewiston Auburn Youth Network. They received $65,000. The Somali man who runs it, Iman Osman, sworn in as city councilor this week. He stepped down this morning, and so we've done some digging. He's facing felony gun charges. He has pled not guilty to that. He ran for city council here using an address that is a condemned chicken restaurant. I went there and looked inside earlier. This is his nonprofit received the $65,000 from the Lewiston Victims Fund when survivors like Jennifer Zenka, shot twice, received a mere $32,000 and couldn't pay for her surgeries. Take a listen.
It didn't really hit me and really upset me until I was in a position with a $93,000 hospital bill that I couldn't cover.
What do you think happened here?
They raised money for nonprofits on the backs of 18 people who were murdered, 13 people who were shot, and 136 people who escaped their attempted murder. They used that to raise money for nonprofits.
In Minnesota, they're stealing from the taxpayers. In Maine, they're stealing from the taxpayers and victims of a massacre.
So why they received this money is just disturbing. Why this man's nonprofit received these monies is a big, giant question mark. Why he was even put on the city council here raises even more questions. When, Elizabeth, I went to the city clerk today, it took me 2 seconds to get his bond sheet. Back to you.
2 felony gun charges and a fake address that's really a condemned chicken restaurant. Rich, you can't make it up.
So there you have it. They stole from shooting victims. I just can't anymore, man. This is in Maine. Here's another example out of Maine as well. This is nationwide, folks, but these are the 2 that are getting headlines. Let me make sure that's, yeah, there we go. Take a listen to this right here.
I thought that we were doing the right thing this whole time. And the more I started digging, the more I started finding. And I just couldn't believe what I was seeing, that this was happening and that I was part of this.
Chris Bernardini spent 7 years working for Gateway Community Services, a Somali-American-led health services contractor in Maine. Bernardini alleges Gateway oversaw a system in which false records were filed about client visits. And he says they charged taxpayers for providing services that were never performed.
We started getting some clients calling and saying, months later that their client owed them hours. They hadn't come in for these shifts and stuff. But I had a time card for it.
And they were billing for it.
They were billing for it.
In March of 2022, Gateway received a notice of violation from the state's Maine Care Services Program Integrity Unit based on an audit of records taken at random from January 2017 through December of 2018. Gateway overbilled by an estimated $904,000.
In your professional opinion, what you saw was fraud?
Absolute.
No doubt about it.
No doubt about it.
But Bernardini says when the pandemic hit, it got worse.
I started seeing bonuses, $2,000 bonuses going to these staff that had only been with us for 2 weeks, never worked a shift with a client. And yet the PPP loan comes, you're giving $2,000 away like they're lollipops at a doctor's office.
In April of 2024, Bernardini wrote to the Department of Homeland Security seeking whistleblower protection. They referred him back to the state of Maine. Nearly a year later, Gateway fired Bernardini. The company's founder and CEO is Abdullahi Ali, a Somali American who, while at the time serving as executive director for Gateway, last year ran for president of Jubaland, a state in Somalia's south that borders Kenya. Last week, he posted on X, "I make no apologies for building a successful business in Maine, working hard to earn a living, earning my PhD, giving back to my Maine community, and running for office in Jubaland. I am proud to contribute my hard-earned dollars to support my people back home." We reached out to Ali for comment multiple times. We even came to Gateway to try and speak with him. Hello, I'm with News Nation. My name is... No comment? Is Mr. Ali here? Can we speak with Mr. Ali? Republican State Senator Matt Harrington has called on Governor Janet Mills to investigate.
Just
She's
an
not
absolute
gonna.
insult to the Maine taxpayer. That
She's
we
not
know
looking
that there's
into
this Medicaid fraud going on by Gateway Community Services. We're seeing nothing from the Mills administration on this, and I think it's appalling.
I still can't believe it. I still can't believe I took so much of my time and put so much of my life into this agency that just tossed me aside. It's caused me to reflect a lot and, you know, try to trust my gut more and speak up more when I see something. It's just it's not right.
All right, so there you go. More Somali fraud. So, a couple last things. Republicans are now making the move to impeach rogue judges. They're going to start with Boasberg. If you recall, he's the judge that seems to keep getting these Trump cases out in New York. No matter what, it seems like it's supposed to be a random draw, but he happens to be there every time there's one to randomly draw. And he always rules against them as his daughter fundraises for Democrats, using his rulings as examples as to why people should donate to the Democrats. So I thought it was important to explain how this process works really quick, because I don't want anybody getting their hopes up with Congress doing anything that matters. Since 1798, the House has impeached 15 judges. Only 8 have ever been convicted by the Senate. So this is how it works, like I just kind of implied. The House has to impeach the judge for whatever they find an impeachable offense. Then it goes over to the Senate for conviction. The Senate has to convict the judge. If they fail to do so, the judge stays in power, in office. So don't be expecting anything to come from this. Our leaders are weak. I'd be very shocked if you saw the House impeach and the Senate convict. I don't know, man. I don't have faith in our House and Senate. I understand Bondi and all them. They're doing investigations into all these other people and all these other things or whatever, corruption and all that. And that takes time to build a case. But when it comes to the Senate, these people are influencers now. It's going to be all for like the headlines and the clips on X and the clips on the news of the got you moments and all that. So I'm not expecting too much to come from this. PBS is crumbling. It's continuing to crumble. It's continuing to crumble, even though they're supposed to rely on public support. I guess liberals don't care about PBS as much as they said. This just came out a few days ago.
A stunningly fast end of
January
an era
6th.
for public media. After nearly 60 years, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting has voted to dissolve itself, forced to take the drastic measure after the Republican-held Congress voted to defund it at the behest of Donald Trump. The private agency has steered federal funding to PBS, NPR, and hundreds of public television and radio stations across the country. A stunningly fast
And then
end
after
of an
that
era
came
for
out,
public media.
After that came out, we saw this. This is from January 9th.
For us here at PBS News.
Due to federal budget cuts, we've had to make the difficult decision to rework our staffing and programming. And this Sunday, our PBS News Weekend team will sign off the air. PBS News Weekend anchor John Yang is here with us now. And John, we're going to miss you so much. Thank you. Doesn't even begin to cover it. You and the team have done incredible storytelling and covered major breaking news every weekend.
That's right. Weekend after weekend, you and the team brought such rigor and heart and care to the stories.
Whoa, what word did he just say? Anyway, yeah, so there you have it. They're crying that they're getting less federal funding and they can't make it on the donations that they're supposed to run off of, really. They're a left-wing propaganda outlet at this point. Everybody knows it, except the left tries to say they're not, of course, because that's what the left does, is gaslight and lie. Now, lastly, I'll leave you with this, because there's not a whole lot of people talking about this situation that happened in Germany just a few days ago. A left-wing terror group, or as we can now just simply call them, regular left-wingers, knocked out power. So take a look at this. This is what happened after they did it. Berlin blackout. High voltage cables near Lichterfeld power plant were set on fire, cutting power to over 45,000 customers and 2,000 businesses from a left-wing Antifa group, Vulcan Group. They have claimed responsibility. This is video. It's not got a lot of sound to it. Over here, you can see it's dark as shit. This is people walking in the street with little to no light. And then we've got a couple more videos of that. So this is another story on it. The government in Germany requested non-lethal assistance from the German armed forces to deal with the situation. So there's that video there. You can see the pictures. No light at all. This would have been January 4th, and I hadn't heard about it till just the other day. So nobody's talking about this because it's left-wing terrorism, which is generally just left-wing the way they are, and it's more prevalent, always has been more prevalent, but we've always heard the opposite. So like I said, you probably haven't heard about this. German politicians are more focused on right-wing speech they don't like, as the left does things like this. There you have it. Now you know. Lefties in Germany are knocking out power places and pretty much being ignored by the government and by the media and elsewhere. I mean, this happened on the 4th. And I'm just now telling you about it. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me this Sunday. It was nice talking with you, and I will be back really soon. I'll try to keep making videos like I did this week. As long as I have time, I'll keep putting them out. As I said at the beginning of the broadcast, they come out. They're not really me live. I try to be there in comments or whatever if it shows me comments. But I just release them that way because it actually gives people notifications from what I understand. So y'all have a great evening. Happy Sunday. I hope you all have a great week, and I'll talk to you all soon.